Yeah, hello everyone to today's video, and it's maybe my last ever Project Cars video on this channel. I'm not too sure yet, but it's definitely a possibility. This is actually a special event during seasons 2 and 3 of the GT3 leagues here, organized by AOR. We are doing 2 races in the DTM cars actually, so yeah, that will be pretty exciting. And we're racing around Oschersleben in the first race and Hockenheim in the second race. And yeah, we're here in qualifying and already improving that lap before to 2/10, and a little bit of practice, especially on this track, because I do not really know Oschersleben, but I was quite feeling confident with these DTM cars. They're feeling quite nice in my opinion to drive, and maybe also a little bit easier than the GT3 cars, and also setups locked, so no individual setups have been made for this race, so just to have a little bit fun during the 2 seasons. And as I'm talking now, sign-ups for season 3 are already up, but still not that sure if I am signing up for that, because I certainly do not have time to practice enough for this game anymore, as I was also struggling to practice at all in season 2, and you could also see that sometimes many mistakes in the race and not a good setup and so on and so on. And that's pretty much for me the reason that I do not really enjoy racing online when I'm not able to practice, and that's that's what I'm aiming for. So we're having quite a good lap actually in P10 in this qualifying session, only 1.4 seconds of Massa. You may know that from season 2 it was certainly more than 2 seconds off in almost every race in qualifying for him. So that shows a little bit that we are a little bit better in these cars here than in the GT3 cars. At least I think so, and we are already on the grid to start that race 1, 22 laps, so that will be quite a long evening for us starting the race. And we have to lift a little bit here, because AJ hadn't had a good start at all, and we're getting mugged here by 4 or 5 cars or something, braking very cautiously into the first corner, because it's so tight and we're running wide, but avoiding any contact and losing 4 positions off the start. That's not too major. I mean, it's just a little bit having fun, having a good racing, and that's the main reason why we're doing this event. Just keep the community a little bit alive during this pause, I think from 1.5 months or something between the seasons. And we're now behind. Oh, as a car goes right off the track, I think that was Mikael. I think it was Mikael. Oh god, we're braking in that. I mean, that and braking into that corner is quite tricky sometimes, because you can easily lose your backhand, as we did it as well. And down to P17, and there's another car very slow. I think that's Tipple, and we have Fizzy now in front of us, losing 6 positions from the start. That's not didn't went too well, but the race is long. 22 laps is yeah, fair amount of laps. Oh wow, Fizzy spins into the wall there. Quite a bumpy section there, so that's also a section where you can easily lose your backhand at the exit. And the next one almost spinning, that's not trying almost into the wall there. So gaining already 2 positions after that mistakes from other guys in P14 at the moment, behind Lucas Schumacher. You may know him maybe from the F1 from AOR season 10. He also signed up for that, and he also joined Project Cars recently. So I think that's, I'm not too sure, maybe it's his first race on Project Cars with AOR, I'm not too sure. Oh, as Andrex spins into turn 1 or 2, and gaining another position on him on lap 3. at the start of lap 3. And who's that very slowly? Gibbs very slowly here. I'm not too sure why that was that. I think he could have been some damage or something. And we're certainly very close to Lucas now. Also have to watch out from behind. J Makakat, or I'm not too sure how to pronounce this name. Was making quite a mistake into this corner, and the Laos, the blue DTM car here to go up is inside for the next corner. Will be quite difficult to defend that. We're braking a little bit later, holding it round the outside here and having the inside for the next corner, and defended that position for the moment. And now on lap 5, we actually gained another 2 positions due to mistakes from the front guys there, and now we are behind Wiseguy, who's having a very good race so far actually, and as he makes a mistake into the last corner, we try to capitalize on that, opening the DRS. These cars have DRS, if you haven't noticed yet. And I think he also has some damage. Yes, he does. So I think if he does not make any dive bomb, yes, he does a dive bomb very late, braking from him. And no, what's going on with Nostra there? I think it was a lag related issue, because I mean there wasn't even contact on my screen. He just spun on my rear with contact on his screen. That was quite interesting thing, as I think Wiseguy now lets me through due to he just has damage on his car and he would hold me up. So P9 for the moment, starting lap 8, I think that is. And Andrek's now right behind us. You remember he had oh god, that spin into the first corner I think 5 laps ago, and he catched up to us, and he's sorely trying to squeeze me onto the apex, but he's still there. We have to leave him room there, and he has to better exit now, going around the outside for this fairly close section, and he has done the move. So very nice move from him on us. Almost breaking just like that corner, but down to P10 at the moment, still having a good race. And lap 15, or skipping to lap 15 actually, we caught up to AJ, who's also struggling a little bit at the moment. I think that car in front is Andrek, so we're not losing too much time to him, which is good to see. Oh, and there's another car spinning or having some wheel issues. I think that this race is, I think, 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago or something, because I'm not remembering everything. I think Yoki had some problems with his wheel or his car in general, as he won out later, is standing there as well in the first corner. So that's pretty interesting. But at the moment, P8 for us, still behind the entry. We try to just hang with him, maybe capitalize on some mistakes, because overtaking on this track is not impossible because of the DRS, but oh my goodness me. And to mention the DRS, you have to close it before this fast section, and we didn't do that, so we're just going with open DRS into a corner, which is not really the thing to do.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Or how you do it. So spinning right off there and losing the position to Nostra, but not losing any more positions, so that's not too bad. We just try to do a good closing laps, and actually catching Nostra after he made a mistake, and I think he also got a little bit of damage on the car. But we're driving very good. I mean, I think I set fastest laps in 3 consecutive laps with these little bit older tires now, so that's very good. A fastest lap for me as a personal fastest laps, so that's quite good. And we have now almost one lap remaining to overtake him, very close here, and he brakes for that corner, which I didn't meant to do. I'm just going, lifting a little bit to go through that corner. He didn't, and he tries to open the DRS very, very early, and he just spins and giving us the position. I was pretty annoyed about that. And he was making it so easy for me to pass him. So P8 for us out of 21, which is a fairly good position, I have to say. It was quite surprised, as I'm not really. I mean, I think I played Project Cars now 60 hours or something, which is not. I mean, considering I had already 2 seasons on this game in the GT3 cars, it's not really much, isn't it? And coming home in P8 for the first race, and let's see a quick look onto the results. Actually, Mini Black won in front of F1 Massa, and we're not seeing any other guys. Yes, we do. Martin van der Wendt, Brunsky, Silver Arrow, AJ Hendricks, than me, and we're losing about 55 seconds to the leader, so that's a little bit more than 2 seconds a lap. And I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And let's skip all the way down to Hockenheim, which I hadn't practiced on this with these cars, but I fairly know Hockenheim very, very well from the F1 game, so shouldn't be a great problem. And we're actually here on our last run, just crossing the finish line. I think 5 seconds before we wouldn't be able to do another lap, and P7 at the moment, so very, very good after we had P10 in race 1. And that first sector was actually very, very good so far. So this very, very parabolic corner or straight, let's say, and braking a little bit too late for the hairpin, very, very late, and also spinning almost and stopping the car in that hairpin. That wasn't good at all. As Andrex, I think, improved to go ahead out now of us. And now entering this a little bit slower section, and this exit out of that corner is fairly important to this little straight here. We matched that pretty well, but we're not improving here in the second half because we made that mistake into the hairpin, this massive mistake, into the motordrome, and that curb here on the outside is very, very bumpy, and you can easily spin there. But we managed that quite well, and also this, I think that's the Sachs corner. And then now last 2 corners to, I think that's called Südkurve or something like that. Running a little bit wide here through the last corner, but it's not, I think it doesn't really matter. And improving actually by 1.5 times to P7 again. So that's very, very good. And qualifying session ends right now. Mini Black on pole in front of Massa. And yeah, 1.6 seconds our gap to the front runners, but I mean, let's repeat that good race we had from Oschersleben, and I would be quite happy to repeat that actually, yeah. And maybe it's now the time to talk a little bit more about what I'm thinking I'm going to do with Project Cars, or even not. I think in my channel update video, my thank you video, something to those who watched that, I said I would sign up for season 3 for sure, which is not the case anymore. I will probably not, maybe as a reserve driver, but that would be, I mean, I would miss so many races because I just would drive if I had enough practice, if I'm competitive, and that will be won't be the case for most of the races. So I'm not really sure what to do. And
you don't go for a gap.
Yeah, as I said before, I'm not really enjoying league racing on a game that I do not have much time to practice for. As maybe it's not on. Maybe it's for some of you not understandable, because Project Cars is the more solid game, the better game, the more sim racing goes more into not really sim. Yeah, okay, you can say it's a little bit going more into sim racing than the F1 games, but it's just my determination is I'm very determined to the F1 games still, and
That's not the track.
and that goes above Project Cars. So, and with having 2 and almost 3 leagues at the moment on the F1 games, it's fairly difficult to run to do a 4th league here, as we are almost spinning into the grass there, losing out to Bransky. And so I think this is probably, as I said in the beginning of the video, this will be my last Project Cars video with this special event here on the DTM cars, starting lap 2 of the Hockenheim ring. That's Bransky. Oh my goodness, Bransky spins into the first corner, and you maybe saw heard that also in the TS. Nossa was pretty ragey because he just I think he made contact with my car, or I ran him off track, and then he spinned again as well into the wall. But on my screen, I didn't even touch him, or he didn't even touch me. I just was avoiding Bransky, and when I was clearly off the track, he just ran into the wall behind me. That was pretty strange, actually. A little bit of apologize for that, but watching this back, it was just very weird contact, or not even contact. But yeah, we carry on getting a little bit of tap from Jesper, and avoiding that blue car. I think it was J Maka I still not sure how to pronounce this name. Just avoiding him. And now on lap 6, actually, I'm behind Mikael. And there's a slow car there. Who is that? That's Yorkie, and we're going up the... I mean, I was planning to go up the inside of Mikael, but that was Yorkie, and I wouldn't have... we wouldn't have made this sandwich if I would have braked into that corner very lately. So I was very scared at that moment, in that I didn't know what to do. But luckily I did the right thing, and staying back. And yeah. And on lap 10 we're still behind Mika. We just couldn't get past him again, running wide into the second to last one. A corner was quite a section where I had a little bit of trouble with the track limits, actually. And we're very close now to Mika having a better exit out of the final corner. That will be our first attempt now within 4 or 5 laps behind him to overtake him. And a little bit of contact. We're leaving him room here on the inside, and we should have a little bit of a better exit. Yes, we do. Going up to P8. Of course, he also has to slipstream, but behind there's Jesper coming now on the inside of Mikael, and I'm braking a little bit too cautious, leaving room on the inside for Mikael, and there's the next guy spinning because he made contact on my screen with my rear, and on my screen there wasn't contact. So a little flag ongoing here in this race, a little flag bubbles and something, stuff like that. Was a little bit of unfortunate, but yeah, with 21 drivers, I mean it can happen. It can happen. So many drivers in the lobby, as we now have to watch out for Mini Black on lap 15, actually, to go with our inside into the hairpin. We're braking very late. Mini Black actually starting on pole and dropping back quite a bit, so he has definitely the pace over us, but we try not to give that position to him too easily. But he's just more confident on the brakes here, holding it around my outside on this corner, which is a fairly good move from him. And we're trying to give having the cut back, but no, that doesn't work. Losing out to Mini Black, and also have to watch out for Andrex, who's again behind us after a mistake. Oh, and there's Tipple in the gravel, and that gives us P8 for the moment. Lap 16, I think that's the end of that lap. I'm not too sure. setting a personal best actually, a 34.9. As oh no, almost did the same error as Brownski did. But having a little bit of damage now on our car, but nothing. It was not too major. But of course, losing touch to Mini Black and also Andrex 4.6 seconds after he made another mistake, I think. 4.6 seconds behind us. And there's a 2-lapped cars in front of us, so we're not bothering about them. And lap 18, Andrex catched us as expected. Nothing much we could do about it. We were still very pushy. We tried everything to let him pass, but yeah, my tires weren't good. My tire wear isn't good on this game at all. I'm not really actually tire conserving driver, and he has the better line through that last section, so he goes up into P7. That is P8 for us would be an equalizer on the first result in Oschersleben, which would be very, very good. I mean, it just shows that that these cars are quite fitting me a little bit better. Maybe also that the locked setups were all as well a reason why I was closer to the front runners than I'm usually. So yeah, and actually finishing this race in P8, P9 it says, but that's a bug, I think, in this game, still not sorted. Coming across the line to finish our maybe, I'm not too sure yet, maybe last project ever Project Cars race. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and the 2 races, and I'll see you for the next F1 video, I think. See you then. Bye bye guys.